thought of writing a book?
No. I don't have any stories to tell except the ones that others write. And if it's compelling enough, then I'm happy to tell them. But no, really. I have no imagination, I think. And discipline is definitely not there. So if that's out of the question.
Yes. Ruskin Bond said that there are more writers than readers. So in this time when people are reading less and less and everybody's addicted to the internet and iPads and all of that, is it a challenge for a writer to sort of gain that, like films have a market, so do books have that extra onus of, you know, involving the readers? How do you, as a writer, is that a huge challenge when you write?
To involve the writer? To involve the reader? I think irrespective of whether people are reading or not reading, when you tell a story, it is a challenge. You have to, I mean, I think it's the same when you write a screenplay, when you're directing a movie. I think if, you know, anybody will agree with me, involving your audience is a task. And you have to keep your story on dot. You have to make sure that there are, you're hitting the right plot points. All those are technical points. But I think, you know, what's happening today is because of blogs, because of Twitter, because of everything, Snapchat, Periscope, name it, you know, everything. Everybody is a writer today. Everybody is a writer. I see some people on my Twitter timeline who write such exquisite things. And, you know, but those are 140 characters. And I see some people who write 500 words of these the most amazing, expressive things. Everybody is a writer today. So if you want to stand out, then your story, the discipline thing that Niranjan said, an average book is anything between 75,000 words to more, like 1,25,000. You have to get there. You can't stop at 5,000 and say, I'm done, I can't do this. So I think that involving the reader first starts with involving yourself. You have to be committed to the story, and then the rest just happens.
Also, I meant the challenge for a writer, in the sense, this has to be marketed in so does that bog you down? You know?
I hope it does not bog writers down to think of marketing in the beginning of writing a story. I think if you want to tell a story, you should tell the story. Because you should write, again I said this before, you should write because you have to write, not write because you want to be published. Publishing should only be an outcome. It cannot be part of your process while you're writing. That will just kill your story. So I'm hoping that you don't have to worry about marketing when you initially start writing. But yes, it's a job. I mean, I know when I finished the book, we worked as a team to get the book out, and we're here today because we worked as a team on the marketing and publicity and stuff. I mean, you can't ignore it. You can't crawl into your hole and say, I'm not going to worry about any of those things. That's part and parcel of being a published author at the end of the day.
How many other books?
So this book is actually the product of a bigger book that I started and couldn't actually write. That was more deeply entrenched in mythology than this one. I actually created Ardra for that book and then realized that, hey, I have actually 2 stories here. I don't need to make them one story. So that's one. And then 3 novels. Yeah, 3 novels lying in drafts, which I don't think I'll finish. I think,
Not bad.
Yeah.
There's one more person.
There's a story that actually happened to you 3 years ago. This happened to you, remember? Your memory has been modified. But yeah. So, yeah. Inspiration, yeah, it comes from everywhere, not just from one.
So, what's your target audience according?
Everybody. Please, everybody read the book. There's no target audience. At all. Yeah.
One more. Has anybody said you an elder version of Akshara Hassan?
That's because of my hair. I don't look anything like Akshara. I'm glad she's not here today. No. Thank you though. Thank you. That's a great compliment. She's really pretty.
Thank you, ma'am.
There was one other gentleman.
Yeah, please.
I can speak over everybody.
Yeah, that's
Everyone can hear me?
Yeah.
So talking about Instagram and talking about social media and also mentioning that your favorite writer, one of your favorite writers is Neil Gaiman. We know that you actually have a personal connection with Neil Gaiman. Can you tell us about that? And also, what does he think about dark things? Can you tell us about it?
Well, I'm just one of those lucky people who Neil Gaiman follows on Twitter. And he actually wants to read my book, so I will send it to him at some point. But yeah, no, I'll send it to him soon. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Last question. Anyone? Someone has a question here. Someone has a question.
Listen, everyone's asking a different question and very intelligent questions. This doesn't happen. So are you all Sukanya's friends and have you all been crying?
Yeah, we just love you.
Sorry, which was your darkest moment when you were writing? Would you share that?
Sure. Very quickly and briefly, so people are not for the book. I think my darkest moment was, there is a bit in the book with the river of death, where this character has to go down to the river of death to do something. I will not say what. And actually, I was writing with Nikita, who's there. In Goa, we were doing a little writing hideout, and she knows that I was so depressed after writing that bit that I needed cheesecake. It was difficult for me. I didn't smile for a whole day. So yeah, that was probably the darkest bit.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Sorry if I'm leaving somebody on stage. Jason. So Jason actually sent me a 12-page, 4,000-word review, like a feedback which made the book what it is today. There's Ali Peter Johnson who's come today. Thank you so much, sir, for coming. Thank you everybody for coming. And yeah, I hope you had a good time. Thank you to the team from Heshet. They're the most amazing team, I have to say. There's Avnija and there's Prerna. Edited my book and, handled all my tantrums, but yeah. I don't know. I can't forget my husband. Thank you.
मॅडम समोर इकडे माझ्याकडे विदाजी एक सेकंड अरे रुको शिल्पी
सुनील एल्बम बना के भेजना.
सुनो ना मैम 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 अरे तुम्ही कशा
Did her first interview with me when she joined Filmfare, and I did my first ever Filmfare interview with Sukanya. So we go back 10 years, and I've always enjoyed reading her interviews. I even read her first book, and there's no place. Come this side. So and then she called me one day and she said, my second book is ready. We actually met somewhere at the, I think, Marathi Filmfare Awards. And she said, my second book is ready. I said, wow. And she said, will you launch it? I said, yeah. And then she sent me the copy much later and I started reading it. I'm actually in the process of reading it now and I'm absolutely enjoying it. I haven't read too much of the fantasy fiction genre in by any contemporary Indian writer. So that would just mean that I haven't read too much, but I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying dark.
What kind of book you like to read?
I read only fiction, but really depends on my mood.
Vidya, you said that at this stage of the career you would like to explore the dark side. If you could elaborate on that, what does that mean and what darkness, what kind of darkness?
I think, there is the dark side in each of us, and at some point you begin to realize that however well you think of yourself, the dark coexists with the light. So just interesting characters, women who are very real, therefore, given their weaknesses, their limitations, their, I don't know, any sort of, I don't want to name any character at the moment, but yeah, I'm just ready to explore the dark
Okay,
side.
if I could ask you to list 3 dark things from Bollywood, what would those be?
Look center, please. Huh?
The 3 dark things from Bollywood, studios after shoot. Let's see what else. Parties that only start after midnight. And the third thing is the insecurity that all of us feel from time to time.
Oh, it happens for real?
Of course, it's human. Everyone feels insecure. And then, you know, I think in this industry, because everything gets written about, I think, you know, every emotion gets magnified.
Last question, please. Yeah? Last. Done? Okay.
Thank you.
Rowan.